Hello there my fellow SimRig racers and welcome to today's video. And today I'm going to reveal to you the secret on how to get Assetto Corsa Competizione to run in VR with my Oculus Rift S. That's right, I have finally got ACC to run beautifully in VR. And I will reveal how I did it after the intro, as we enjoy a fabulous race in the GT4s at the wonderful Oulton Park circuit. See you out on track.
Stay double file.
Okay, welcome fellow sim racers to a sunny evening here at Oulton Park. We are in my favourite GT4 car, the beautiful Ginetta, and we are going to do a little 10-minute race as I talk about how I have got Assetto Corsa Competizione to run in VR with my Oculus Rift S. So we're at the back of the grid here. AI is set to 90%, aggression 90%, so once we get the first lap shenanigans out the way with, we should be able to get some good racing going on. So, what was the final piece of the puzzle? What was the key that was required to get this title to run with my Oculus Rift S? Well, I can share that secret with you right here, right now. It's £1,500. All I needed was a brand new 3080 Ti 12GB graphics card, a brand new Ryzen 3 CPU, motherboard, and a couple of sticks of super fast DDR4 RAM. It's as simple as that. And then you too can run ACC in VR with all the eye candy on, without any stutter, flicker, or graphical issues. Yes, that is really what it has taken to get ACC to run in VR. A whole new PC build. And you know what? Even then, I wasn't really sure, because although I went about as high end as you really need to as a gamer, GPU wise, with a 3080 Ti, I hadn't gone all out on the CPU front. I'd only gone for a Ryzen 7 5800X, but I had coupled it with some pretty speedy DDR4 RAM, and with all my homework that I'd been doing, and the amount of websites, YouTube channels, forums I'd been on, the amount of different brands, combinations and setups I'd looked at, talked about and discussed to make sure that when I did invest in a new build, it was, one, it was gonna last, and two, I could just crank everything up to 11, sit back and relax, whether I raced in VR or with my Ultrawide. And although initially I was gonna pair the GPU with a 5900X Ryzen 9, all the feedback, all the benchmarks, all the reviews, the tests that I could find showed that the performance gap between the two CPUs just didn't justify the cost gap between the two. So we were talking almost, you know, by the time you'd bought a bundle, but cooler, RAM, motherboard to go with the CPU, you know, I was looking at almost double the price. If it gave me double the performance, I'd have laid down that cash in a heartbeat. But I decided to go for a strong GPU. So what was I coming from before? Well, I had an Intel i7 8700K. I had DDR4 memory, but it was really slow. It wasn't. It was sort of entry level. And I had a really good, actually, it's lasted me absolutely years, a 1080 Ti. And you know what? For its age, that thing, it can still power a gaming PC, but it's just, it's got no, to me it felt like it had no headroom left, you know? It was right at, getting right to its peak there. And it was starting to struggle, especially if I was trying to race and record at the same time. The amount of compromises I had to make with either my visuals or the recorded visuals was just becoming a little more frustrating. And you know, titles like ACC, which I really like, but I just couldn't. I couldn't run the title in VR. And ever since I donned my first VR headset, it was clear to me that racing in virtual reality was the only way to go. It was just like night and day. It transformed my sim racing experience, the level of immersion. And I was running a triple screen setup at the time, and that was it. Within 24 hours, monitor setup gone. And I have raced virtually in virtual reality 100% of the time. I did buy an Ultrawide, but that was more for non-gaming work, video editing. I really enjoy creating and painting liveries for iRacing. I just fancied having a large high-res monitor that filled all of my little sim racing cupboard. But when I'm just racing, when I'm racing for fun, or when I'm just on my PC and I just want to be fully immersed in the sim racing world, no hesitation, I whack the old Oculus Rift S on, and that is it. But of course, as we all know, ACC is hard enough to run on a monitor with all the eye candy on. So you try and ask an aging system like mine to run. I'm not even talking about running with all the graphics on. I'm just asking it to run smoothly, you know? I couldn't even get it to do that. So it was stuttery and blurry. And you can imagine what a wonderful combination and experience that created, can't you? It just... If you didn't know the track, you couldn't pick out any braking markers, any detail. The dashboard, even though it's only just, 2 foot in front of you, illegible. Apart from the gear indicator, everything else illegible. And it was just absolutely disappointing, and it just killed any sense of immersion. So I'd resigned myself to running ACC in what us VR users call 2D or flat pancake view. But yeah, I just decided, okay, ACC is on a monitor. But even then, I had to be a little bit picky and choosy about some of the post-processing effects I could run. But I got the new build. First thing I did, I went straight to AMS2, ran that in VR. Wow. I've actually recorded a lap in the sunset with the sun, with the rays and the bloom as it comes through, peeks through the screen at you at certain corners. There is a lap of that, pure immersion lap. Absolutely stunning, and that just got me thinking, right, I need to find out whether I can finally get ACC to run in VR, because it's just awesome. Well, what I've done is I've set the visible car count to 20. I've set the grid to just 20 cars. And I'm using the VR Epic preset in the graphics options. That's it. And I get in it instantly. Now, when I say sharp, I mean everything as sharp as you can get in VR. There is still a compromise to be made. It's never going to be as pin sharp as a 4K monitor. That's just where the technology is at the moment. But it's not something my 50-year-old eyes really are bothered about. So, you know, it is as beautiful looking as MS2. It's, you know, it's sharp. It's got all the right details. But I can finally see corner marker boards. I can see all the information on the dash. If I look across, I can see, you know, wiper, lights, fuel. I can see all the things on there. You know, everything about the, you know, the Ginetta down here. I can see it all. It's completely legible. And I haven't put an FPS counter on. I don't set up my games with an FPS counter. I set them up to how they look and feel to me. We've all got our own personal views, setups. You know, our hardware's different. We are different. So all my games are set up. Does that look good to me? Does it run smooth to me? Do I enjoy it? Am I happy with it? And if it passes all those, then that's it. Now, I suspect as I go along, as I maybe race online, try larger grids, I'm going to have to tweak. I have a new 3080 card, so I could try the NVIDIA, what is it, DLSS, whatever it is, that upscaling, downscaling thing that's supposed to, you know, reduce the load. So I'd like to delve further. But what I wanted to find out was, could I just jump into ACC, click a VR preset, and enjoy the same sort of visual experience that I can get in other sim racing titles in VR? And I think yes, you can. I have, and I couldn't be happier. So there you have it. There is my tip on how to run ACC in VR. Just buy yourself or build yourself a brand new PC, and it's as simple as that. Well, thanks for watching, and you know, I hope it's answered a few questions. If you were thinking about an update or a build, you know, where you should be spending your money, not spending your money. And I've spent a lot of money. I've committed to a lot of money. You know, I'm hoping to recuperate some of that by selling my old stuff off. But even so, I don't regret it. After the experience I've had here in ACC with my Oculus Rift S, I'd spend all that money all over again. Lovely. Well, thanks for watching. As I say, I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it, running ACC in VR. Oh. Coming up on the end screen, there's a couple of more VR related videos. I'm putting together a series of pure immersion. It's just a stripped back, driver's eye, VR view, one lap of my favourite sims in VR. So why not check those out, sit back and just enjoy it. In the meantime, happy sim racing, and I'll see you all again. Bye bye.